Everybody, welcome back. I'm Matt Money. This is Joe Lissette. Getting ready to kick off our semifinals here in Indianapolis. Been a really fast quarterfinals match there.
It sure was. I felt like we were just getting started. The one player multi-5 in game one,
Huh.
and then the match was over.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
there
quick.
was a whole lot of Cavaliers and Uros,
Yeah.
and the Spirits player, despite winning the first game without any trouble, just couldn't keep up the
Yeah.
rest of it.
All right, well, let's take a look at what got us here. So we're going to be into our semifinals here. We have on one half of the bracket, Jacob Dyer, who you mentioned, had that Simic ramp deck. He's playing against Dylan Huising, is playing mono red aggro. Uro's going to be pretty important in that matchup again.
hmm
That card's like the glue that holds a lot of these decks together right now.
Yeah, I think the Uro matters a lot. Going first matters. Our Burrow Grazer being able to block
Yeah.
most of the creatures without the help of a burn spell. With Simic Ramp going first, I'm on the Simic Ramp side of this
Okay.
one.
All right. And then on the right side, the match we're actually going to watch here first is going to be Mark Johnson with that Boros Feather deck against Cody Murray playing Dimir Inverter. Wyatt and I watched the Boros Feather deck earlier. A lot of this deck power comes from like Reckless Rage and Shock and things like that. Not at their best against Dimir Inverter.
No, they sure aren't. I mean, the rest of the pump spells, the Titan Strength and such, are just gonna stream on through
Yeah.
with realistically only Fatal Push to worry
Yeah.
about. But the rages themselves are not going to be worth anything.
Yeah. All right, we're going to jump down for game number one here of our first semifinal. We got Cody Murray on the left and Mark Johnson on the right, and we'll see. I don't know who I favor here. I feel like Dimir Inverter is favored just based on the makeup of the feather deck in game one, but I could be fooled. So.
Yeah, and I think there are some dead cards on the feather side.
All right.
This is a good start though.
Yeah, it's a great start. Monastery Swiss Spear into 10th District Legionnaire, and off to the races here for Mark as Cody fires off an opted end step, and he needs some removal quickly here.
Yeah, the going second, we're gonna want to, if we can get one removal spell in and then have Inverter on turn 4 and a kill on 5. I don't know that Feather is going to be able to keep up with that.
Yeah.
But that requires basically everything going right.
Yeah, looks like Cody
and that's
has.
not easy to do.
Looks like Cody has a Fatal Push in hand. Also a Thoughtseize, which is so maybe these guys both have cards that are not the best in the matchup, but Thoughtseize does have text. So.
Yeah, I think I would lead on push here. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with this choice. Instead of Thoughtseizing whatever's in the hand, I want to take the damage off the board.
Yeah. All right. So Mark going to play a favored Hoplite here. As just 3 creatures is a good start for him.
Yeah. Creatures, there's a Boros Charm in hand, so
Yeah.
some damage to finish things off.
Titan Strength and a Reckless Rage are the last 2 in there as well. So here's that Thoughtseize. That's gonna get. I mean, he's gonna take 6 this turn.
Yeah. It would have been just casting Titan Strength there, that turn on the attack would have been reasonable, I think. I mean, obviously you want to save it for the Hoplite because it's a permanent pump, but getting the Scry lined up, like here, I imagine we're losing the Titan Strength here.
Yeah.
And that means we're not going to maintain the ability to control our deck. That must have been an acknowledgement of like reading Reckless Rage, yeah, because they're not taking Reckless Rage.
So Cody gonna take a pair.
That little flick of the card kind of startled me for a second.
Yeah.
But probably that was Cody just laughing in his face.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not taking this because if you draw 5 of them, it doesn't matter. It's not doing anything.
All right, and Mark actually doesn't fire off the Boros Charm. Gonna get an extra point out of this. I mean, maybe he's gonna save it for indestructible. I don't really know. I guess what's gonna go on here.
Okay, and that's fair. I think we're playing removal before we're playing discard. So the fact that Thoughtseize came off last turn, I doubt I wouldn't expect there to be necessarily another removal spell right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we lost the potential for a damage there. That may not matter. We'll see. Because if they had been played, Cody would be at 6 right now.
Yeah. So Mark has Cody at 11, and
there is some merit to. Mark knows that Cody's going to have to spend a lot of mana on his main phase at some point or another, and in which case the coast is going to be clear to cast these spells.
yeah, I mean, Cody's got time now though.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's one half of the combo. And the 7th card is at 6. He's got both pieces of the combo, I think. I'm pretty sure that was an inverter. It was either that or a Thoughtseize. Couldn't make it out. There's a Thoughtseize. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's got Thassa's Oracle, and that one
It
plays.
blocks. Yeah.
It's a little worse against that Reckless Rage that's hanging out. But
That's true. That's true. We don't want to brush that out there. There's a sensor. I don't think we're taking that.
Yeah, I don't think so. See where Cody lands. He puts one on one half and then one on in his
Oh,
hand.
yeah, we can't change our minds now because that one's definitely in the
Yeah,
hand.
that one's in your hand now. That one has touched the top of the deck.
Well, I guess we could put the second one that's off on its own. We could put that one back. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, that Fabled...
Uh,
Yeah, the Fabled Passage is a card that he took there for sure. It's definitely the Fabled Passage. And that one. Okay.
Whoa.
I don't know
Hold
what's
on.
going
No,
on.
no, no.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on.
Well, what's going on is we're in round 10 of this
Falling
tournament,
apart?
and the players
Yeah.
are losing track of their basic functions here.
All right. So there is Fetid Pools for Cody. There's an inverter. Okay. So this should have a trigger here. This should have a trigger,
Oh,
right?
my goodness.
We'll pause the match here.
I mean, I suppose you could actually miss. I mean, it's a beneficial trigger. I suppose you could actually miss. I don't think we meant to miss it there. This is going to be. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if.
And I think he's just dead anyways.
Wow,
But,
yeah.
well, yeah,
Okay,
Cody's got to slow down.
Yeah, so there were multiple procedural errors there that probably could have been warnings on each, both on the dig through time and on the non-resolution of the inverter trigger. The end result was that so what happened there in about a 10-second span, there were like 4 unclear maneuvers, and then the Boros Feather player basically laughed at us when you guys said this Reckless Rage wasn't going to be worth anything. Well, yeah,
Doubled
here
it
you
off.
go. Bang.
Yeah, sure.
Get rid of it. And I said, well, the first one's worthless. More of them will be worthless, too. That didn't turn out to be the case.
So here, I'm going to give you Mark's deck there.
Sure,
so you have
okay.
the Feather deck. I'll go over Cody's as he is the loser of game number 1 here. He's got 3 Pack Rat, a Kalitas Trader of Get, 2 Damping Sphere, a Narset Parter of Veils, 2 Doomblade. That's a sweet card. A Negate, 2 Mystical Dispute, 2 Legion's End, and a Languish. He's got tools for this matchup. I don't think I've watched Cody play today because his sideboard's a little bit different than what I've been seeing. The Doomblades seem very good. Kalitas sounds great. Legion's End, a pair of those, and the Languish. I mean, those are all-stars.
All the removal seems great.
Those are very good.
In the Negate, maybe, I don't know about that, but all the removal seems fantastic.
Yeah, probably get rid of that. He can remove like these nonsense things like maybe these sensors and Hero's Downfall just to upgrade his removal by making it a little bit cheaper. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where he's going to lean. What do you got for Mark?
So, Mark, we have 2 Apostle of Purifying Light, 1 Chandra Acolyte of Flame, 1 Hazaret the Fervent, 2 Karizev's Expertise, 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Swift Justice, 3 Wear and Tear, and 2 Wild Slash.
Yeah, got some good ones.
Yeah, I think Kari's Expertise is probably in these decks for inverter matchups.
Sure.
Because it's just a huge flyer that it basically is just a 3 mana. You take 6, and that's and get your blocker out of the way. It's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely good.
Swift Justice. So I was going to say we can basically cut anything or add anything we want to in place of the Reckless Rages, and then they work.
They were okay.
Maybe not. They were not crucial, but they certainly were functional at the end of last game.
Yeah, I think Rest in Peace is probably going to come in. The Apostles of Purifying Light is definitely one also that comes in. So he's got some tools here. I'm surprised that I don't know. The matchup went really weird for me there. I don't know. Like the Thoughtseize was pretty good, and then Mark was able to like hold on to that Boros Charm for a little while until it really paid off, and he ended up getting there. In the end.
Didn't. I don't know that holding the Boros Charm actually benefited him at all. I mean, because it did because when it was cast, it did the 4 damage plus the prowess trigger, which is the same thing that was available the previous turn.
Sure.
What I was gonna say, I don't actually remember. No, we did talk about this. How at some point the inverter player was going to spend a lot of mana on one turn. So it's supposed to be clear, because the Boros Charm was held so that it couldn't be disrupted.
Yeah.
Even though it was unlikely to be anyway. Obviously, it was safer when Cody was tapped out, and then just a whole flurry of spells all at once was certainly enough to finish that game off.
Yeah.
The Cody needs to. We need to have a plan. You said he needs to slow down. You're absolutely right. He needs to take a deep breath and remind himself how you played to get here. I'm sure it was much cleaner than that game. And just, sometimes you get excited, you get nervous, and whatever happens, and you kind of lose your focus, and then you have messy games like that. No, maybe he would have lost the game anyway, but if you're trying to, if you're needing to, squeeze every inch you can out of your deck, that's not playing like that is not going to make that
Yeah,
makes that
yeah,
happen.
and I actually thought he was turning the corner once he hit that dig through time. He was under basically a very minimal amount of pressure considering
Yeah.
what this deck's capable
Yep.
of. So he's under a very minimal amount of pressure. He got the dig through time. He found one half of the combo piece. I was like, okay, well, this is probably going to end up pretty decent. And then just a few different things happened and ended up dying. And yeah, so
I'm kind of curious. Well, I mean, you can see the match, so we didn't, or the game, so we didn't have to see it play out. But because I haven't seen an inverter player miss the trigger,
yeah,
and what the ruling would be because there's a lot going on with that trigger,
yeah,
and generally how judges interpret these things. One of the questions they ask is this a beneficial or a detrimental trigger?
sure,
You're decking yourself.
yeah,
As far as the rules go, is that going to be a beneficial trigger? I don't know.
yeah. That's interesting.
In as far as the inverter deck's combo works, it's a beneficial trigger.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know how it would technically be ruled in a random
Yeah,
scenario.
sure. All right,
The
so we are.
Okay, so
Sounds like we got some
yeah.
a pause in the gameplay here. Okay, so we're gonna pause the match A. There's something going on over there. We're gonna hop into. I think we're gonna hop in live. Is that what's going on? Okay, so we're gonna jump into the first game. So watch
Okay.
game number one of what else we got over here, partner? We got Mono Red versus the Simic Ramp deck, right? Okay, so we'll jump into game number one, so we don't keep you everybody at home waiting for Magic to get played. So we'll jump in. I watched Dylan play his Mono Red deck against Dimir Inverter, and had like 5 1-drops and just attacked and
I
ended up
would
killing him.
imagine
So
that
that's
would
pretty
get
good.
it done most of the time. Yeah.
So here we are.
We saw Jacob play, and Uro's handled things pretty well against the Spirits deck. So let's see.
Wow.
But again, it was
Very important.
both of the games where he started off early with anything were the ones he won.
Yeah, so Jacob, you mentioned in the pregame here that a Boreal Grazer was going to be very important as well as Uro, and he finds Boreal Grazer on turn one. And
Did we start on red side with just Wild Slash?
yeah, it looked like a Wild Slash you go.
Wow.
All right, and there's a Rimrock Knight here. So, I think Jacob has an Uro in hand and a third land, so
That's bad news.
that seems bad.
And a bless on.
All right, there's a Nissus Pilgrimage there. All right. All right, so Nissus Pilgrimage going to put a forest in play and a forest into hand there.
Oh, so we were just informed. Can you tell us again? Our director was tell us again. So Dylan received a warning or a game loss. Okay, so Dylan received a warning for forgetting to decideboard from the previous round. So yeah, yes, several players nervous here in the semifinals, and that's reasonable. But
Yeah.
still, we need to tighten things up a little bit here.
All
So
right.
it sounds like we are still actually in game one. So
Yeah.
it's just a warning.
Okay, so Goblin Ravenmaster hits the table there for Dylan. Going to make a Goblin. And
Do we know the life totals here? Is this right? Because we had a
should be
wild
18, I
slash
believe.
to
Jacob should be at 18, I believe.
right. So time shifted match. We can't retroactively fix the life totals, but we think it's likely Jacob's at 18 here.
All right, and here comes the Goblin.
Railmaster, a nice threat against kind of the green, the Arbor Grazer type stuff.
Yeah.
The elves, because it's not something you can just block every turn and be fine. It brings a whole army with it.
Wow, and there's an Uro rolled off the top there. And here comes Cavalier of Thorns. Lots of lands to choose from there.
I think any blue one will do.
Yeah,
There we
Handle and
go.
Harbor. Yeah, actually, I think Jacob, does he have an Ugin in hand too? Man, that's going to do
Ugin
some
be
serious
good.
work.
We're actually just about the point where Uro could be cast the front half and the back half in the same turn. This, however, Torbrand with Goblin Railmaster, that is going to generate quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So you see Cavalier of Thorns there, has tons of text. It's a 5/6, has a reach. When Cavalier of Thorns enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Pick a land card from among them, reveal it. Put it in your hand, put it on the battlefield, and then you get to put the rest in the graveyard. And then when it dies, you may exile it, and then if you do, you can put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. So pretty nice for like a sweeper effect or something like that.
Excellent card.
Yeah.
It's well designed. It does a ton.
Yeah.
It feels like it's too good, although it costs 5 mana. So it's I think it's fair,
Yeah.
but it's just, boy, it's infuriating to play against.
Yeah, I'm with you.
On the other hand, Torbrand just pours out damage, especially
Mm.
when you're creating tokens. And I mean, I don't know that we can. Do we mill over a card good enough that we want to trade the
So like
Cavalier with the Rabblemaster
there's
here?
more blockers available, like, and he's just really trying to dig into this Ugin, I think, at this point. So I think you got to try and prevent as much damage as possible, and that's going to be leading by killing the Goblin Rabblemaster.
If we don't trade with it now, that just means
That's
we're
11.
effectively not even killing a creature because it's gonna be replaced next turn anyway.
Yeah.
The token we might be able to block.
Yeah, I think it's 11 points coming through here if unblocked here. I think it's going to be 11. So I think it's put Jacob down to 16 here, or to 6, excuse me.
So it's +2 for each, is correct?
Yeah,
So that's just
5 plus 6 is 11,
yeah.
And then he's going to go ahead and put, I'd be surprised if like the Satyr Wayfinder or the Grazer, let's see.
I don't know, but we need something to handle this Torbrand. Otherwise, we might we're at risk of just getting burned out.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Do we have? Okay. That's the third blue land. I think we might just be on Uro.
Oh, just
twice.
double Uro?
Yeah.
Okay. That gains you 6, I mean, and
Yeah.
that gets a stick on the battlefield.
Yeah,
So
that is a ton of work.
there's Uro.
Definitely going to make sure we tap this correctly, though.
Yeah.
That Blast Zone looked like it was about to not be tapped initially, and that would have stuck that Uro in hand. Well, I guess the extra land drop would have solved the problem anyway.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty important. He hits this Hinterland Harbor as well. It's going to save him 1 point of
save 1
damage.
point. Yeah, that definitely matters. Is the entire graveyard going away? Yep.
Yeah, and Jacob's up to 12 now, I believe.
That's
And another land comes off the top.
fantastic turn. And yeah, you're right. There is an Ugin in hand, which can come down next turn. If Jacob survives this turn, he's probably safe for the rest of the game.
So he should be at 12 here. I'm going to make sure the
Yeah.
life totals are. Obviously, we can't do anything about it with the time shift, but there's the 12. He's got Stomp, Lightning Strike.
Ooh, boy, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That's
7. That's
it.
9. Yeah, that's going to be game. Boy, this is a high-powered game.
Yeah, wow. Even
I mean, you have to
you got to block.
block the biggest guy.
Yeah, which is going to be one of the 3-1. The 3-1. And he's got Stomp Strike.
Bang.
All right.
See you later.
Wow, Torban really flexing muscles there.
Yeah, Torbrand was counted for how much damage that game?
Yeah,
2,
Torban.
4, 5. I don't have that many fingers, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it was almost 20 points that
It
Torban
was.
represented there. It was just quite
Yeah.
powerful. As you can see, the 4-mana creature is did a ton there. So it
And he
pumped
got
up.
the Cavalier off the board the previous turn.
Yeah, cleaned out the Cavalier. Yeah, really nice. So I'll talk about the sideboard here on Dylan's end. He has 3 Scab Clan Berserker, 3 Damping Sphere, 2 Chandra's Defeat, 2 Fry, 2 Mizium Mortars, and 3 Karizev's Expertise. I don't know. Like, what do you think is good here? I mean, I don't know if there's a lot, honestly.
I think I want, similar to the other semifinal match, I think I want the Threaten effects.
Yeah.
I want Karizev's Expertise because, okay, we're not taking a 6-powered flyer, but we're taking 5, 6, 7-powered creatures on the ground, and there's a chance that the things that could, block it easily, like a Boreal Grazer or Satyr Wayfinder, at that point in the game have already died.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so if we're taking, like this last game, if we're taking the turn before, if we're taking the Cavalier, we're attacking for 50.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
So I think we absolutely want those. I don't know if we want anything else. It's interesting that Damping Sphere against the Ramp deck is
not
basically
good.
worthless.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
And actually, the Ramp deck is playing its own copies.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw in the game you guys did, I saw that Perilous Vault come in, and I was like, whoa, this card's sweet. I forgot there was an old blue-black deck that played that in Standard.
Yeah, in Standard, yeah, several years ago.
So, taking a peek here, there's 2 Graft Digger's Cage on Jacob's side, a Tireless Tracker, 2 Damping Spheres, as you mentioned, 3 Unravel Ether, 2 Ether Gust, 3 Mystical Dispute, a Perilous Vault, and a Negate. Well, the Gusts are good. I feel like the Tracker might come in as another blocker, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's an early play, at least.
It's not... I'm not excited about this.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, me neither.
But, yeah, the Gusts obviously come in. And then maybe that's enough. I don't know if you have a ton of cards you don't like in your deck. Maybe you pull out some of the big stuff. Maybe you pull out Ugin or Ballista.
Ballista's probably okay. The Nissa's, man, it's so hard.
Yeah. I mean, this
World Breaker's not great either because it doesn't
No,
really
true.
blow up any lands or anything that are worthwhile.
Maybe. I mean, you could pick up in some cases. There could be a
Castle
the
Embrath.
desert.
Oh, the Raminep ruins.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah, but there's not a lot of cards that obviously want to come out.
Yeah.
I think likely what I mean, not that time experience in this
Yeah.
specific matchup. I think probably what I'm looking to do is just bring in the Ether Gusts and take out 2 of the expensive cards.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which ones should be the ones to go out, but 2 expensive cards for the Ether Gusts and try from there.
Okay.
Maybe you want no, I don't think you want Perilous Vault.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't
It's too
think
slow.
so either. Yeah, yeah.
All right, I think so. I think what Jack was telling us is that we're going to jump into game number 2 of this match. We're still working on match A's, still getting some things resolved. So, Jack, is that right? We're going to do game number 2 here. Okay, so we'll hop into game number 2, and we'll get the Simic ramp again on the play. It looks like, and he has Elvish Mystic this turn, and not is he on a mulligan?
Whoa, I don't think
5?
I don't think there are very many cards in his hand.
There's
I
5
think
total.
I think it might be 4.
Oh wow.
1, 2. I think there's 2 in hand. No, there. I think there's 3 in hand.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah. So that was a multi 5.
Double Swift Spear for Dylan. And Dylan has that Wild Slash for the Elvish Mystic.
And we drew an Ugin.
Oof.
Yeah, cutting Ugin, just because that's also the one card that the castles, or maybe one of the cards the castles can't ramp you into either.
Yeah, so it's going to put Jacob down to 15. Then you're going to take 4 more down to 11 already here. Jacob's dead.
Jacob multi 5 in game 1 of the quarterfinals also, but was able to win the other 2 games.
Yeah.
He isn't going to have the opportunity this time as he already lost the game.
He's going to put him down to 8 here, and Dylan has double. Wow.
Oof.
There's that blue source a little late to the party.
Yeah.
And Dylan has Kari's Epic Pizza Slash, and that's lethal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right.
Yes,
And Dylan's mono red deck going to pick up a blistering quick game number 2 and going to punch his ticket to the finals.
Yeah, and I mean this deck seems like I can understand how mono red can has a decent shot. Like I love the I think the threat and effects, the Kari's expertise seems so good against Inverter.
Yeah, it's very good.
Because it's not like it's the only way around it really, I suppose, is to play Jace first,
Sure.
which in another matchup you would do, and then play the Inverter the next turn and then win immediately. But if you just play Jace and pass,
You're
the
taking
Jace
a million damage.
Either you're going to take a million damage or the Jace is going to die.
Yeah.
Either way, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see this mono red deck doing well. People had, people talked about these combo decks are, unbeatable and all that, but the best way to kill combo decks is just attack them. And this mono red deck also has like 3 Scab Clan Berserkers.
Yeah.
We watched Robert Litfin had Eidolon of the Great Revels in his deck. There's ways that you can build your deck to beat stuff like that.
Between those cards, between the Threatens and either the Eidolon slash
Sure.
Scab Clan, you have cards that are good against Inverter and cards that are good against Lotus Breach.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting, and we see like some of the newer cards like 2 Annex, Harden in the Forge, if you play like against these control decks or things like that, like 1-for-1 spot removal decks. Annex is really good against those kind of decks.
Yeah, Annex. This is the new Demigod.
Yes.
That's devotion powered and then spits out tokens when your other creatures,
right.
or actually any of your creatures die. It's a pretty neat card. Kind of this new Demigod cycle with the white one is seeing play in devotion.
Yep.
The red one is here.
The white one sees some standard play.
Are we seeing the
black one sees standard play as well.
Yeah.
What's that one? Timorat. That one sees some play.
Nice one. Blue, maybe not so much.
I don't know the blue one. The green one's a good draft card.
Yeah.
So we're looking here. There's also like Embercleave in this deck, which is interesting. Another benefit from being like a monocolor deck. There's a Castle Embrath, which is one. There's 4 Raminep runes, which are great, and there's a pair of Mutavaults in here too, just chucked in, which they're mostly free. So having access to those utility lands in a monocolor deck is super helpful as well.
All right, so we're here speculating on what's going to happen. So we'll tell you what's actually going on in the other match. So it sounds like in the match that we saw, the game 1 of Inverter
versus Feather.
Apparently there was clearly there were some sloppy plays made as far as resolving the Duke through time and then untapping and playing Inverter for getting the trigger. Now, there's an investigation going on. We don't know if it's regarding that.
Sure.
It might actually. We don't even necessarily know it's regarding that player.
Yeah.
But there's something going on that we're told is going to take several minutes to resolve.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where we're at right now, just so you
Yeah,
viewers know.
I see the players kind of walking back towards the feature match area, the head judge. So, if you guys have any questions in the chat, fire away. Joe and I are here for your entertainment.
Yeah, yeah. You have questions about the event, what's going on today.
Yeah, tomorrow modern.
Tomorrow morning, you have questions about NRG Gaming. You have questions about any random players who might have finished 17th in the Players Tour last week.
Oh yeah. Oh, my favorite player is 17th.
Oh
in
yeah.
The Players Tour.
Really?
I'm a little afraid to ask for my autograph though.
You're gonna ask for your own autograph,
or his autograph.
You're gonna offer your autograph? Is that what you
I
said?
should. Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Should I offer him my autograph? All right, Joe. Modern tomorrow. Okay, here we go. Here's a question instead. Is NRG based out of Indy? We are not. We are based out of the Chicagoland area.
This is actually the first major event we've had in Indianapolis. Is that right?
Yes, the first one. Yeah.
Certainly this year. This is as the series grows. We're steadily growing, and we're trying to expand a little bit further outward. So this is this is a first. This year we expanded to having 2-day events, and this is the first one we've had in Indianapolis.
Okay. You see that question in blue? I want you to answer that one.
The question in blue? You mean from
the blue person? Yeah, I want you to answer that one.
You mean the one from Gifts Ungiven?
Is that what it says? Yes, Gifts Ungiven. I'd like you to answer that question, please, and I'd like you to read it out loud also.
That looks like I like to answer questions based in reality. That looks like a hypothetical.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so it sounds like from MaxCon just told us there was there was a deck registration error. It sounded like there was 2 Wild Slash on the deck list, and there were actually 2 Shocks. Is that what it was? Okay, so they're going to go to Game 3, and Mark's going to be on the play, the Boros Feather deck. So we've solved that riddle, but we haven't solved why I'm so good looking yet.
Why was that even an issue? I didn't read the question. What are you talking about? What context would you even have to bring that up?
See, I like Jack. He said, was there ever a question? That's nice.
I was 2 against 1 over here.
You see that?
All right, well, let's see if we can knock any more of these out. How do you guys feel about Pioneer Feather? I think it's pretty neat.
It's sweet.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I thought Pioneer Heroic was an interesting idea. There's a lot going on. I wasn't even necessarily convinced that it would only be a 2-color deck, because I think you'd be base white for other creatures. And Reckless Rage is so desirable in red, but other colors have, like green has some interesting stuff. I was thinking you could maybe be, this would take some work and probably fail, but you could try, because Hardened Scales is good with the heroic creatures.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if you're in green with Hardened Scales, then that's good with Ballista. And if you're in Ballista, then maybe play Heliod. So you end up with, a couple heroic creatures plus the combo. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's see.
What do you think about tomorrow? Modern is a weird spot. What would you play tomorrow if you were playing?
Boy, I don't know. I have not played with the Players Tour and a limited format to learn. I haven't played Modern since the bannings.
Oh wow, been a while then.
Well, I don't think it's been too long.
It's like over a month.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, it has been that long.
It's a long time in Magic.
Yeah, that's true. If I had to play a deck tomorrow, I would probably play Tron, because while that's the deck I have the most experience with, and then it was unplayable for a few months, it is now apparently actually showing up again.
Okay.
And putting up finishes. The top decks in the metagame are Primeval Titan decks or Urza decks.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like, while those are the best decks, probably based on popularity and finishes, I don't know that I'm in a hurry to jump out and play one of those.
Yeah, so the thing that's cool about Tron too is the Spike Feeder deck is now a thing too, and the Dimir or Wurza deck is okay, I gain infinite life. And a lot of times that's all right, well, I can see it. I can't beat infinite life. Tron doesn't care.
No. Tron absolutely does not care
about
infinite life. Yes, that is a very, very nice aspect of it. But Tron does have trouble traditionally with Amulet decks.
Yeah.
And while they're not all of the Primeval Titan decks are Amulet decks right now, they are very powerful. And they've basically gained access to, now they can play Valakut and Field of the Dead.
Exactly. They have Valakut now. It's funny to look at that deck list now and be like, wow, this deck just got straight upgrades because of the Druid of the Elysian Grove, and now they can play Valakut in their deck, and it's all right, well, how do I beat this now? How do I attack it? So,
yeah. All right, so we're speculating here on different matchups, different decks, different formats. While we're doing this, the players sitting down to play. One of the players is mulling to 5, so we'll get down there just as soon as they're ready.
Sounds like the Boros Feather deck is mulliganing down to 5.
Okay.
So, and we're gonna start game number 3, and I believe Mark, I said, was on the play, is what Max told us. Okay,
yeah.
So going to be pretty short-handed on cards against Cody's Dimir Inverter deck.
So if we're on 5, if we're going to try and construct a good 5-card hand out of this, Boros Feather heroic deck.
It's like
We're gonna want
oof.
2 land, one
A favorite hoplite's probably your best one.
maybe we'd want to have or maybe we want to have 3 land feather and a cantrip
All
that
right.
we can start recasting.
Well, at any rate, Mark leads off on an Inspiring Vantage and a Monastery Swift Spear. And going to pass it back to Cody, who fires off. Looks like he's got some good stuff going on over there. Plays a Watery Grave tapped and sends it back to Mark. Mark comes in, puts Cody at 18. He's got pays 2. And there's Dreadhorde Arcanist.
All right,
That's
that's something.
something. Oh, Doomblade off the top.
Doomblade is excellent.
Boy, that's a card right there, man.
Yeah.
And that's Legion's End. So he has to reveal his hand here. Titan Strength, God's Willing. Okay.
All right. I feel like both these cards scry. I think we're heavily incentivized to cast. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. I absolutely agree. This is good.
All right.
This is gonna give us the best. Boy, if that Arcanist had lived.
Yeah. All right. Comes crashing in.
Yeah.
If Cody deploys this Hoplite, he's going to be in some trouble, though, I think. Yeah. So now he's got the Hoplite. And Mark's got another removal spell, I know.
Well, we're not any worse off than we would have been otherwise.
Yeah, that's fair. He's got the Doomblade hanging out. And Cody's got to be pretty conscious of those God's Willing's effects, and he might take a serious chunk
so
here.
a pump spell here with the God's Willing to protect would be pretty good. That is another Titan Strength. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 7 damage.
It's pretty big.
It is.
And here comes.
And Cody knows the card in Mark's hand. Is that because of the Legion's End?
Legion's End, yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, this is. I mean, obviously your opponent rolls to 5. I know that, in theory you're supposed to be disappointed because you want to have a good game. That's really not the way that I think most players. I certainly don't feel that way. I'm
there to win.
Perfectly fine. My opponent rolls 5, but you're also thinking there's also kind of and it's like, oh cool, I've won this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not so confident now on Cody's side. I mean, we're still good. We have removal spell. The thing is, I think we have Doomblade and Censor, and we obviously aren't going to be able to use both of those here.
Yeah, that's not the best. And he says, all right, well, I'm going to just take this damage.
Yeah, well, that's a lot. We're taking it either way. He knows whether he plays the Doomblade or the Censor or nothing, he's taking the damage in any case.
Yeah. He's going to scry with that Titan Strength. He's going to leave it on top, it looks like. I mean, hey, Mark has figured out a way to win the game. All right. And now Cody's going to have to fire off this Doomblade here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's Censor? He's drawing?
Okay, I wondered if that might have drew an Inverter. Okay, we're at 6. That's
Does he have he has an Oracle in hand as well.
Okay, well that's pretty good. We have plenty of lands. Yeah, maybe we just run this out and hope to avoid we don't have to worry about a threaten effect.
Yeah.
God's Willing doesn't do anything. I think we just run this out.
Yeah, I think he's going to run it out, man. Yeah, Cody looks like it's clear for liftoff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're at 6. You better do something.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if this Inverter doesn't hit the table.
Mm-hmm. It seems pretty safe. And the fact that it's
wow.
The fact it's devoid means we get to block for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And that definitely can matter. I imagine Cody's nervous at this point.
Gotta be.
He looked nervous already previously in the match, but
yeah.
I think he's definitely taking his time here, and I think now the Inverter's being pulled to the front. This feels like the right decision.
Yeah, he's got to do it.
Ooh, no, it's not going to be it. Okay, Oracle comes down. So now that we give a blocker, not a blocker that does anything more than absorb some damage, but it does something, and we're holding up our Doomblade. This makes things tricky because now can we, assuming the Oracle survives the combat, can we afford to play the Inverter now?
I don't think so. How do you win the game?
Well, we have to win by attacking at that point.
That doesn't seem great.
Like if we Doomblade here, and then okay, so here's the Doomblade. When is this? If this happened before damage, which I don't think happened, I think Cody already took the 1.
Yeah.
If this happened before damage, then the Oracle would die.
Yeah.
And go by with season play. All right. Well, this has become very interesting, hasn't it? There are still several lands in Cody's hand.
I'm shocked.
So, okay, 5 cards in the graveyard. I do not believe there's another win condition.
Yeah, no, I don't think there is, man. There's a
No.
dig through time hanging out.
Okay, so we could dig, and then, uh, boy, I don't think. Yeah, if the inverter's not coming down this turn either, so we're then guaranteeing we're taking at least one more
Another
point.
point, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless he finds like a fatal push here.
Sure, off the dig. Yeah, the dig looks like it would cost 3 mana right now.
Mark has a Boros Charm in hand. This is his last
No,
card.
he's a God's Willing.
No, he
You're
just
right,
used it.
No, I'm sorry. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. He's God. I didn't see his
I
card.
think it's
Boros
Boros Charm.
Well, Boros Charm would wipe us out if there's more copies.
Another Legion's End.
Yeah, there's 2 more inverters.
I mean,
Another Oracle. Okay.
you gotta take the Legion's End here.
Do you?
I,
Because the God's Willing's gone. Yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah.
And you gotta try. I mean,
Yeah. No, you're right.
So Legion's End's the Hoplite, and then he's gonna reveal. I believe it's Boros Charm, partner. Yeah, Boros Charm.
It is.
All right. Well, I mean, he's got a blocker for this.
Mm-hmm.
Swift Spear.
And it's actually a blocker that's going to survive too.
And does Cody have a?
Now so he took. He must presumably he took. Well, I didn't see what he took.
Rest in
He
peace.
took the other Oracle. Oh my gosh. Whoa! Whoa! Did we not?
Hey, he just didn't rest in peace him.
Okay.
Does he have a land? An untapped land? Yeah, he does. He can't go to 3 though because of the Boros Charm he knows about now.
Oh, that's right. Oh. Okay, so if we played Rest in Peace, then Cody would have won.
Yeah, he would have won. Yeah. All right, so there's
now
Inverter.
we have a 2-card deck. Okay.
And you just send it back.
We need
Yeah.
Boros Charm now.
Yeah, you gotta hope to get him right here.
Yeah. So what do we need? We need.
Any 1 point, any Wild Slash,
What?
Shock Effect, any.
How many of those are in the deck at this point?
What's that? That's Defiant Strike. Okay, that's a redraw.
Sure. Oh.
But he has a Fatal Push.
Yeah. That's
it?
That seals it.
Yeah, that's it. All right,
Wow,
and
that turned out to be exciting.
Holy cow!
That was. I'd have to watch that again to feel confident on Cody's plays because I certainly questioned them first time through.
Yeah, but at any rate, Cody Murray gonna pick up a W, and he's gonna be in our finals against Dylan's Mono Red deck. So he's
okay. So,
wow.
Yeah, that was
That was a good. That was a good
cool.
game.
Yeah, that was a competitive game, which you like to see when one players on 5 cards.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. And he came up just a little bit short, and boy, yeah. If the last 2 cards that didn't exist were a 3rd land and another spell,
yeah.
I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
But really cool match.
Yeah, it was good. Again, like you, I think I might have done different things than Cody, but he got there. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways to skin a cat, and he picked his way and is into the finals. So, at any rate, we're gonna do just a real brief break. We're gonna get Dylan into the feature match area. Cody's already hanging out over there. Give the players just like a minute or two to catch their breath, exchange deck lists, and we're gonna be back with the finals in just a couple minutes.